So in case you ain't paying attention, Gas Monkey Ice House will be open on May the 6th for dinner at 4 p.m. on, and then we're open for good. So come on out. If you're in Dallas, you don't go by the Ice House, why'd you even come to Dallas? What's up, sir?
Not much. I am beat. That auction, man, it wears me out.
Well, this auction thing that you do every Wednesday, I mean, I have a hard time committing to like a vacation on a certain date. And you got to do this thing every single Wednesday. Then you do your show every
Saturday for 20 years. And the Wednesday thing's been going on for 30.
I'd have thought
I'm a little burnt out.
Well, I just think that you'd either have been so successful by now that you'd have enough money, it wouldn't matter, and you don't have to do it anymore. But you're still working, so I guess that.
Well, that's why I come by here, because I enjoy escaping. Seriously, that's what I'd like to.
And the free beer.
Yes. No, seriously, I love coming over here because I get out of my pressure vessel, and then, you know, your pressure vessel is real too.
It's going crazy right now. So for those of you that have just tuned in, this is another episode of Beerview Mirror with my buddy John Clay Wolf, and we're just hanging out talking about the state of things and what's happening in today's car, motorcycle, motor world, if you will, and drinking a couple of beers. So since we're always talking about what is happening and sometimes what's in front of us, we're calling it Beerview Mirror. If you don't like the title, forget it.
The tariff thing is real.
The tariff thing.
It's real. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the pressure of the market, for sure.
I would think that it would be great for the used car or slightly used the last 10-year-old cars business.
3, 4 is where we really saw the difference. Like 1, 2, 3, 4-year-old stuff. And the Germans, for some reason, are affected more than the others. But the exotics today were good too. So everything that Italian, German, not so much Honda, Toyota, but I definitely saw it in the Benzes and the Beamers.
What about Porsche?
Porsche is great.
Going up every
Porsche,
day.
Dude, we sold a $166,000 911 today with 90 miles on it. I forgot which model it was. But MSRP on a Porsche today, $166,000. We sold it for $20,000 over, and there were 5 different Porsche dealers bidding on it. We hadn't seen that in a while. So it's
Porsche
definitely
has just always been strong.
But not like that. 20,000 over list, and it wasn't like a GT3 RS. It wasn't something crazy.
Yeah, but even the 23s, I guess, when they came back, or maybe it was 24, especially the 2019 GT3 RSs, those are more than they were a couple of years ago.
True.
And that's 2 years older.
Because of the limited production. That's why this car was not a crazy limited production. My buyers were texting me saying, what do they know that we don't? And I said, I don't know. Because there was 5 different Porsche dealers on this car, and they were not letting it go.
Well, they could be speculating that because of the tariffs, they're just going to hold the cars back for a minute and see if it's one of these scatter shoots, and then Trump backs up a little bit.
Then that's kind of what I'm betting on.
And what I don't understand is tariffs are for new stuff. Mm-hmm. If you got stuff, I mean, I've already had people in some of the industries I'm in, because I'm opening the restaurant and I'm opening and I'm having to order some stuff, and I've got clothing and all that, trying to hit me with tariffs. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this shit's already here.
Right.
It's already in the United States. Well, the tariffs are going to hit everything and blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not going to pay a tariff on something that's already in the nation. And then they're trying to say that because it's on a boat, it's going to be instantly tariffed. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, I have a feeling that paperwork's worked out way
But like those contractors and builders, when the 2x4s and everything went up, they just started gouging the hell out of everybody.
Hell yeah, they did.
The difference this time is the money is not in the system, in my opinion. A lot of families got that money from the government last time. Mm-hmm. So last time you had the stimulus.
Yep.
And then the car prices went with it. And then the boats and the RVs. It was just a big pour it with gasoline and put a match on it.
Everybody could afford a toy.
And that was the stimulus money. And that stimulus money is not here this time.
But the tariffs, like you were talking about, last time it happened, they started jacking the price of wood, for construction. And hopefully the guys that are editing this can find this. But I bought a thing called the meme Porsche. Mm-hmm. And what it was as a joke, somebody that was trying to buy a Porsche saw a stack of plywood in the background in this barn. So there's a blue Porsche 911 in there. It was an early model, like a 68 or 69 or something. and it said, plywood X number of dollars per sheet. So it went crazy because there's this Porsche sitting there next to it. And so I started calling around, and it turned out that it was a guy just over here south of, kind of towards Walnut Springs, Burleson, Cleburne somewhere. He goes, oh yeah, I wasn't thinking about selling the Porsche, but I guess I would. So I went over there and bought what became the meme Porsche. And I ended up keeping it here for a little while, and then I sold it on down the road, and I guess somebody built it, and now it's a finished, perfectly done Porsche. But it all came out of Tariff on wood and what have you.
Right. It was just that COVID run. But like I was building a house at the time, and I had those doors that you collapse, like California style, a whole wall, and I had it for $14,000. And by the time I got it, it was $28,000 during those 2 months. Like I ordered it for $14,000, and they kept changing on me. It was $28,000.
I think they're
everything
gouging.
went up. So they start gouging the hell out of everybody. So this car thing right now, I don't trust it at all. I mean, we're bidding more on the cars at Gimme the VIN than we were last week, for sure. But I just don't trust it. I don't think there's enough money in the system to hold it up. I just don't.
Yeah, but the problem is right now is the lots at the new car dealers are stuffed.
Right. So it's going to have to burn.
4 years ago during COVID, you drive by a big lot here in Dallas, these guys have acres of lot, and they'd have 20, 30 vehicles in there. Now they've got them parked all up against each other. You can't even get in them. So what's it going to do to obviously.
Nissan's actually discounting their cars. Mercedes is upping their sticker prices.
I saw Ford is discounting. Ford's gone to pretty cheap interest rates and/or whatever, and $6,500, $7,500 off.
It's all over the board. If you think the tariffs are going to hold up, you need to go buy a new car right now. I can tell you that. For sure, no question about it. Quit watching us, hang up, go buy a new car. If you think this is going to hold.
From the wolf's mouth.
This is what I do. We buy and sell 50,000 cars a year, and I'm pretty good at this. And if you think it's going to stick, then go buy a new car right now, because it'll take a minute for this to shake out, but the net effect, the cars are going to go up for sure. And
how much more can the expensive stuff go up? I mean, Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes, BMW.
How do they afford it now?
It's insane.
I don't get it.
I mean, these cars are, especially when you're at Rolls, Ferrari, and Porsche, they're $200,000 and $300,000 more than they were 5 years ago.
And like that Wraith you bought. I mean, look at what the Spectre costs now. It's $500,000. Now, those Wraiths were stickering for $280,000 back then, and it's the same car.
Well, the Spectre's
electric, but I mean, I hear
But
you.
the Wraith, a new Wraith right now is $500 plus.
Which is a Spectre, but yeah.
It's the same car.
With an electric motor.
Well, no, even the new Wraith is the same car.
I didn't even know there was a new Wraith.
Well, whatever the last one was, maybe last year.
Okay, yeah.
Same fucking car.
Absolutely same fucking car.
Same fucking car it's been for 8 or 9 years.
With a double sticker.
And it's double sticker.
Well, speaking of cars, what is on your build schedule? Because I see you building bar stools, and everybody's getting bitchy, and I don't think it makes for very good social media videos.
My last video just tanked, on YouTube, because we were in a weird spot. We had this car we dug out of the patch, as they call it, down there in Midland, Odessa, and we didn't really do too much to it. And then we didn't have a lot of car build going on because I'm opening a new restaurant. So I got Gas Monkey Ice House, and we, as you can tell all around us, this is all repurposed, reclaimed, industrial, made into what we needed to be made into.
Restaurant prep mode, welding, building, sanding, painting.
All of it. But then we needed 80 bar stools. And
your cheap ass didn't hire it out. You decided to do it here.
No, really, I thought it wasn't that big of a deal, and I might save a few bucks. And let me tell you, I will definitely call the guys that make that stuff from now on, because, I use a couple of different companies here in town, and I was like, you know what? Maybe they can see the process and what have you. So we made 80 freaking bar stools here. And that's all hand welded, hand put together, hand cut, and hand sewn on the wood, whatever you do to wood, freaking plane it, sand it, whatever, and then stained and then put together. So it took a big chunk out of playing with cars, and the people were not happy.
Well, I know that you got 2 cool cars coming from Florida, because our 3 car went down there and picked up 2 of them for you.
Yeah, you did me a favor on that.
59 El Camino.
I got a 59 El Camino off of, and a 72 El Camino coming in off of Gas Monkey buys. Pay attention there. And so gasmonkeybuys.com for you that don't know, I'm trying to buy everything now. Of course, I specialize in the classics, but I'm trying to break into John's world. There's enough business to go around. We were just talking about how the lots are full. And so I'm buying everything.
And I'll help you, and I'll buy some of that newer stuff from you.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm having to learn this new stuff. If somebody calls up with a 2023, Nissan of some sort, I don't know nothing about it. I have to just do my research and see if I can stab a number at it and get it bought. But I did buy a Juke the other day, a Nissan Juke. Now, let me tell you what I found out about the Juke. The one that I bought was a 2017 with only like 11,000 miles on it, and they're an odd-looking car anyways. But did you know that they made a Nissan Juke Nismo RS?
No.
So it's like Recaro seats, beefed up horsepower, beefed up body panels in a Nissan Juke. I guess it would be very similarly described as like a WRX Subaru.
Sure.
So
it's like
really fun car to drive. I watched a few interviews and people talking about it. I got to find one of those.
And Ford made that ST Fiesta or whatever the hell it's called, and then Mitsubishi made the Evo. It's Mitsubishi, right?
Yeah.
Those are badass. Those are very desirable. We sold one in SoCal today with 129,000 miles. We only got $11,000 for it, but I thought it'd bring 15. And I'll tell you something else about. So we Gimme the VIN runs the auctions in Dallas, and we postcard in from our hubs in Orlando and Manheim, Pennsylvania, to Dallas, the ones that we don't have here. Then we run another lane in Anaheim, California, 2 hours later. But it's weird to see the market differential. So I'm repping the 6 lanes in Dallas. And then I jump over to California 2 hours later and rep those. And they're not the same. The markets are not the same. And California market is 2 weeks behind Dallas market. So if we have a bump in Dallas, you'll see the same level of bump in California in 2 weeks. It's very odd. Hey, tell me about the 59 El Camino, because I've got a 59 Impala.
You got a bitchin' 59 Impala.
I do.
That's a 200 plus G ride, probably 250.
Yep. And it's over at Earth Motors for sale. I've stuck it over there on consignment because he's really good at selling those, and he hasn't sold it yet. But this guy that wanted to buy it couldn't get the credit. He was going to give me $100,000 down. Frank called me and said, "Hey, do you want to carry the note on this guy?" I'm like,
Not on something that special.
Yeah. But it's the same body lines, obviously, as this El Camino. Is that the most properly restored? Is a 59 El Camino the most expensive El Camino there is?
Well, there's 2 ways to do it. If you go properly restored, you're going to get less money than if you go hot rodded in LS to like
Resto Mod.
Yeah, if you go the Resto Mod route, the LS route with all the creature comforts and big brakes.
If you're going to do one right, is that the best one?
Yes, 59.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because in the 60s, they're just not as pretty. And then when you jump into the later 60s, like some people like the slab side 64s and 5s. I hate them. But when you jump into the Chevelle-looking El Caminos, they have to go hot rod. They've got to go with, mags and wheels and do burnouts and stuff like that. That's just the style of those cars. But the 59 El Camino is bitching, and there are very few out there to be had. And they're not as expensive as a 59 convertible, but they are getting expensive. A good one, rust-free, that you're going to maybe resto mod is going to cost you between 30 and 50 grand. A nice restored one that needs to be resto modded is going to be a little more than that.
Have you done one?
Yeah, no, we've never done one. I've had a few come through here, but somebody sees it and they end up talking me out of it before we build it.
Like if that car's gorgeous and you fall in love with it, do you think you might build it?
I don't fall in love with anything but my wife.
Yeah, but you like picking the right car to build, and it sounds like that's a pretty good car to build.
But
you've got plenty of shit to do.
I don't have any slots left.
What do you have? So rattle it off. What is on the queue right now?
Right now, we're doing a 3-day build on a 2025 Ford F-150 single cab, short bed, 4x4.
Okay.
So we're putting in a stage 2, 3-liter
It's that
Whipple
XL
supercharger.
cheaper truck with the huge motor.
Huge motor. Yeah,
And you put a supercharger
We're
on it?
going big Whipple, MagnaFlow exhaust, Willwood brakes, huge brakes, weld wheels, Mickey Thompson tires, all ride tech suspension kit. It's going to be a mean monster. I'm going to take it to the track, and we're expecting to bring mid to high 9s on the quarter, and it's going to be a fun little truck. And
So there's one. What's the next one?
We've got our SEMA build picked out. It's a 1970 Chevelle that's going to be out of this world wicked. motor was 60 grand, chassis was 60 grand. We're already at 120 grand in the two main
Whose motor
components.
y'all using?
We're going with LME, and they're doing a platform for us that's just going to be a monster. We're pushing hopefully somewhere around 1,600 horsepower, streetable, AC.
How's it going to breathe?
cold. Huh?
How's it going to breathe? Super or turbo?
Supercharged. Yeah, it's gonna be really bitchin'.
What size displacement?
You have to talk to Josh about all that crap. What I do is I go out there and say I want to build something like this, and then I go at it. So the Chevelle's there. We still got the S65 Mercedes that we want to do, and then me and you have the Ferrari over there. I did take it for a drive the other day. So the 6x6 Ferrari has now gone on a drive. I'm pretty comfortable with everything. There's a lot of little stuff when you're shaking down a vehicle, but in general, it quacks like a duck and looks like a duck, So we've got to discuss that probably later today.
Were people honking and hollering at you when you were on the road?
They were freaking out.
Well, that's good. That's a good sign.
It's absolutely very, very cool. It's just not what we designed,
Right.
So Danton and Frenchie did their stuff. It's just now we got to back up and do what we had in our head.
Do you know what our start date is on that, so we can hit SEMA at the right? I mean, do you have it in?
We will hit SEMA.
I know we'll hit SEMA.
I'm not going to be that far away. We've got complete interior, body mods, complete paint. The car will have to come back apart one more time, and then back together. And we will be plenty of time to do all the beauty shots, all the press, and then be at SEMA.
Okay.
And then straight to Barrett.
Chevelle, the new Ford truck, Ferrari 6x6. There's something else.
Well, I've got the S65 that I want to put in the old 280C Mercedes.
Are you going to pull the motor out?
I want to put the whole car under it.
Won't fit?
Close.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll play with that one of these days. It's been sitting here as a project for a while. My biggest project right now is my restaurant. It's killing me. Well, hell, you're a part of it. You got in on a little piece of it,
Just enough to maybe say, hey, I want a 50% discount on the hamburger.
Exactly. You bought a lifetime discount card, and but that's taking up all my time. We're mowing down walls, we're building bars, so we're looking at maybe the 9, 10, 11 weekend of May being the launch, grand opening, raise some hell, do some burnouts, all that kind of stuff.
And then we've got in Walnut the Texas Rattlesnake Rally, 15th through 18th, the bike rally. Sunbrew Brandon and I went to Bandera last week just to look at it.
You told me you were going to check that town out. It's supposed to be pretty cool.
It was really pretty. I mean, they're riding like at Sturgis, they ride. Daytona, they don't ride because there's nowhere to ride. Galveston, they don't ride because there's nowhere to ride. But in Bandera, they're riding, and in Walnut Springs, they're riding because the hill country's gorgeous. And I met the promoter. He'd been doing it for 22 years. And he's like, boy, the best thing to ruin a rally is nudity and swingers. You don't let them nudists in, don't let them swingers take over. They'll wreck your whole deal.
Well, I thought that usually you just have a separate little field for them.
I'm learning about I didn't realize swingers and bike rallies go hand in hand.
Oh, swingers and bike rallies and nudity goes in there and what have you. But, this close to the city, I don't think you're going to get much of that. You got a lot of people that are going to come in from all over the nation, obviously. And you don't see a lot of that at Sturgis bike rally either. The Black Hills rally where I got my other bar, you don't see that on the street and everything. They do it at some of the campgrounds and it gets a little crazy, but you know that if you see the upside down pineapple, you know where you're going.
Right.
So you go there and that's what you were into, but you're not going to see that kind of crap.
He was walking through the events, and one of the events that I thought was a really good idea is a wet t-shirt contest under 40 and over 40. I think that's fair.
Oh, I'm super down.
That's a good marker. The 40, yeah. So I think we should do that.
I think that...
Not in town, we'll do it out. So Brandon's got the Viper Pit.
I think my lovely wife is good looking enough that she could lie on one application, tell the truth on the other, and win both.
He's doing the Viper Pit. He got 10 acres or 15 acres right outside of town. And they're having an MMA fight there and mini bike races. So that's going to be like the campground.
MMA fight?
MMA.
Outside?
Yeah.
With the bugs?
I mean, it's mixed martial arts. I don't know. But he's got the Sunbrew Bikini team, and Strokers is going to be there. And then in town, we've got the Rattlesnake. We're taking the other Rattlesnake and rebranding it Gas Monkey Outpost. And we're going to just do the car show ceremony in there for the gifts.
That's for the car show, but we're still having the Gas Monkey Outpost for the bike weekend.
Absolutely.
Too.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
We're not going to overdo like what we're actually going to use Gas Monkey Outpost on the car show for the. We're going to use Gas Monkey Outpost on the car show for the award ceremony because she's going to be getting the Rattlesnake ready for Pat Green concert. She's got to turn it over and stop for a minute, kick everybody out, and we're going to go down to the other one. And then we've got the license split where we can run them both. It'll be fun.
Well, you're running it.
I know.
I'm just hanging out.
I know.
I go down there to get loaded and have a good time. And I guess I'll be doing the show with you on that 19th. We'll be fine. I'll pop into your studio.
We need to get Big Old Tom to come down. He's funny.
You know, we got to start thinking about if we want to have guests on this because, you know, people might get bored pretty quickly just listening to me and you.
Agreed.
You know, Tom Smith was popped in here a minute ago because he does from time to time. He works down the street. And he might be pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just have to think about it, see who wants to come on and who wants to do
I was supposed to do a Zoom today, and I forgot to tell you, but Ed Bowling from Vin Wiki, he's like, let's do it. And I didn't want to throw him on you because I know that you were a little irritated from the way that the record breaking thing went down.
I don't give a shit about that. Ed's
Did
fine.
he break your record?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, but the day he hit you with it, you just didn't know yet.
Well, no.
We're talking about the gumball?
Yeah, no, the Cannonball Run
Okay.
that me and Dennis did in 2007. When he hit me with it, he wanted me to go out and make a statement about it, but I hadn't seen any of the evidence or any of the proof, and he was so excited and
So he called you and said, Richard, tell me what it feels like to pass the crown over to me.
Yeah.
And you're like, what crown?
And I'm like, what? You know, so he didn't do anything wrong. I was just like, I can't help you with that until I know, you know. I got to understand it and what have you. But no, him and Tarvish and Hoovy and all those guys that run around that group, they're great. I on some points, especially on some of the social media stuff they do, I look up to it.
Right.
You know. And we're too fucking old to go do a car trek. I mean, me and you ain't driving from here to California.
Mm-mm.
I mean, no way. And
how about Meekum losing their? Because I was watching Hoovy the other day, and it caught my eye because he was talking about Motor TV.
Motor Trend is gone. I mean, for all
and
intents and
Meekum's
purposes.
out of there. And now they're going to ESPN Plus, so you got to pay $15 a month if you want to watch Meekum auctions. That's not going to help Meekum.
It's not going to help me, because that is a sports channel.
Right.
And people have to pay for that to watch the sports. And as a matter of fact, most of the people that are paying for the sports are going to be pissed off that they turn it on Saturday afternoon and Meekum's playing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, what the hell's going on? Where's my game?
So what do you think they're doing with Motor Trend?
Similar to what Hoovy said, I think it's done. I think they're going to fold it up. It's going to sit there and play reruns forever, probably Fast and Loud, and what have you. And there is absolutely zero money going into any production of any automotive, motorcycle, moto, television, reality type stuff at all anymore. No shows being currently filmed. Courtney's got a couple episodes left on her Ride of Your Life. I think there's 1 or 2 episodes of Street Outlaws. And then nothing. Every other show and those shows canceled, done, out.
Why?
Because
money's not there. It's got to be why.
The money's not there. They don't. And the reason the money's not there is cable does not have the viewers. You and I get more viewers on YouTube than cable can. Put it prime time on a Monday night. Richard Rawlings doing a new show. The best I'm going to do today on Discovery would be 150,000 eyeballs. It used to be 5 million. So that's gone. I don't know what cable.
Is there a place in the ecosystem for another one, or is everybody just doing it with these different channels?
I think that what needs to happen next is a fast channel that operates similar to what we know as a traditional cable or a linear television network. This is where you go to get all your moto content. And then to build that, to make content anymore is almost cost prohibitive. You could never make Fast and Loud right now. You couldn't make enough money on it. It was a very expensive show to make, and so were a lot of the other shows. So
didn't you say the budget was $700,000 or $800,000 a rip?
It was $700,000 or $800,000 a rip plus. So it was $1 million over
to do an episode.
Yes,
one episode.
And so there's a lot of pluses on there, especially when you're dealing with some of the production houses.
And there was enough money from the advertisers to make that math work.
Oh, I think Fast and Loud made, I think if you were able to count it all up of our 8-year run, I think we made well into the 1 to 2 billion range in revenue.
On ad revenue, okay.
Yeah, on ad revenue. I mean, it was just a phenomenon, and so I think what we're going to see going forward is fast channels that specialize and they put that content out, but I think they're going to be getting that content from wherever they find it. And this right now, you got a lot of, let's just play reruns. We've got the old TV channel and it's playing Leave It to Beaver and the Munsters, and you got the old home channel playing what's his face's home show and all that kind of stuff. And people are done with that, and people are getting very quickly done with reruns because we're just consume shit faster and we don't want to see it again. We have no reason to. The reason that people add reruns is because there wasn't anything else. So you watch
you
reruns.
got such a big brand in the space. You ought to just do Gas Monkey TV.
I've thought about it. I wouldn't mind quarterbacking a fast channel or a network or something if it was right, but I don't know anything about running it, or what have you. But I've got some ideas.
You need to find the next you. You need to find the younger version of you.
It's what I told.
You need to be Barry Gordy and develop new technology.
It's exactly what I told David Zaslav when I walked out of his office for the last time back in 2019. I said, number one, I'm going to build something that you're going to have to buy because it's going to be that big and you're going to have to own it. And he goes, I don't doubt that. And I said, and number two, there will be another Richard Rawlings and I'll own it, whatever it is. And
we own part of it.
Whatever,
right.
kind of like
be a record label.
Well, they owned me for a long time,
sure.
So it's fine. They owned.
So if you're the next Richard Rawlings, comment below. So you got to start developing your roster if you're going to do something like this.
Exactly. Yeah, comment below if you're the next Richard or even Rachel Rawlings.
It all starts with a super duper crazy hot girl. So you need to have the hottest girl in the world. So that's where your applications need to begin.
Yeah, my wife is already. She's like, you don't need to make TV. You don't need to be in that world anymore. You need to just relax and all this. I'm like, honey, what would I do all day?
Massage her feet.
Yeah, that'd be fine with me. It probably pays well. But back to the car world for a minute. You had a good week.
Yep.
How many did you sell today?
590.
590 cars.
And then we have 70 in Chicago tomorrow. It's a lot.
Why did they sell today?
Because we're running it. We started a fresh lane in Chicago, and we're going to start bringing in. Well, we were going to start bringing in some Canadians, but now we're not with the tariffs. But Chicago's a different bubble. I have a really good guy up there that's running that group, and he said, "Can we start trying to just instead of shipping them to Dallas, eating up all that freight, can we try to run a lane in Chicago?" So we did, and it's working. So now we've got 6 lanes in Dallas. 1 lane in Anaheim, in LA, 6 lanes in Dallas, 1 lane in LA, 1 lane in Chicago on Thursday, and then Orlando's on Tuesday, and Manheim, PA is on Friday. But those 2 clumps of cars get postcarded into Dallas today.
I don't even know how you do that, but
it takes a lot of people. I've got about 200 people.
Jeez.
Hey, while we're plugging, if you want to be a buyer for Gimme the VIN, and like you're a badass wholesaler with accounts, and you want unlimited capital, I know that sounds arrogant, but it's true, in a hell of a system. We're always looking. My email address is john@givemethevin.com because I am looking to grow. Because we're going into this tariff thing. It's bringing the market up. We're going to get on a run again. I know we are.
I get it. I'm looking to grow with GasMonkeyBuys.com, but I can't exactly throw out the unlimited funds. Well, you kind of trumped me there.
I'm not trying to be cool. Dude, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've saved and saved and saved. I mean, I was a self-made millionaire by 26 in this space, and then I bought some dealerships, Wolf, Ford, Dodge, Chevy, to like legitimize myself because wholesalers are scumbags. Wholesalers are like ticket. They are. It's a scummy thing, right? It's like a ticket scalper. But so I was like, I got to get out of this because I don't really like the way it looks, and I want to get in the new car business, and I lost all my money in the new car business. Had to start over.
Jeez.
So then I was like, if I'm going to be a ticket scalper, might as well be Ticketmaster.
Exactly, or StubHub.
Yeah, so that's what Gimme the VIN is. And I came up with I was the first person to develop the sight unseen bid where people could go to a website, put in their VIN number, and get a bid automatically. And then CarMax copied me, Carvana copied me, but that's fine. I had a moment in time where we made like crazy money, and I kept it all, and I plowed it back in the business. So we have, it takes about $150 million to run our thing.
And now you're just buying towns like Walnut Springs and just, You're going to be like the sheriff and the mayor.
But I really am interested in this classic and collector thing, and you're the boss, right? You're the man of that world.
I like to think I'm pretty good.
You are. So I'm enjoying learning from you guys, and I'm enjoying your Gas Monkey Buys thing. And I'm you know, we can tell them. I show you some of my metrics and the way our engineering works on Gimme
On
the
the
VIN.
new car stuff, I got to understand.
But on the Gimme the VIN thing, like if you can scale Gas Monkey Buys, and that's if you could be the classic and collector, Gimme the VIN in your space, it'd be cool as shit.
I know, but I also want to get into the exotics and the slightly used.
Sure.
And,
All of it.
And just buy anything and everything.
Right.
If I can move enough volume,
It buys jet
the
fuel.
money's there. It does buy jet fuel. I just don't have a jet yet.
No, it's a cool space. But I mean, how long have you been doing this? 30?
21 years now.
No, longer than that. How long you?
Gas monkeys-
How old were you when you bought and sold your first
12.
car? Okay. And how old are you now?
56.
You've been doing it a while. My math's
Yeah.
not that good,
But as a business, as my main source of income, 21 years.
well, the day you bought and sold a car for profit, you were in business.
This is true.
You might have taken a moment off. So you've been doing this shit a long time.
Well, I
And-
filed my first taxes when I was 12. My parents made me fill out the 1040.
And I'm impressed, you know, what I like about learning from you is some of these shit boxes that are actually valuable, which is very few. You know, people have these shit boxes. I want 12,000, I want 8,000, but every once in a while there's one that's worth it.
Correct.
And I just skipped past them all the years. Like, fuck it, I don't want to waste my time with it. But one thing I noticed about you going with your buyer and looking at what y'all see, a lot of your people are out there, like when they go to Gas Monkey Buys and they're pushing those old cars at you, they want 30 grand for 8 grand shit.
The problem is that it was 30 grand shit 10 years ago. And a lot of families are losing their matriarchs and their collectors, and they want to get rid of these cars. And all they've known the whole time is, oh, this is worth 50,000. Don't ever sell it for less than 50,000. It's like, I'm sorry, the times have changed.
Right.
You know, like I get a lot of 40s and 50s stuff sent to me, and 40s stuff might as well be crushed. It's
I forgot to
worthless.
tell you, the V16 Phaeton that we looked at and the old Rolls, there were 6 cars there. They
Yeah.
sold those 2 cars to some guy that's actually going to build them.
Do we know what he paid?
So we got sold out. He said that he got for those 2 cars what we offered for all of them. But I mean, the other 4 were junks. I mean, we offered 20 grand for those 4. So he must have got paid about 80 grand for those 2.
I got to put that footage out when these guys are editing. Make sure you add it. We went and looked at we found a V16 Cadillac, and you called me. Actually, it was your lead.
Yep.
And you said, hey, I'm going to look at these cars in Fort Worth. And there's a V16 dual cow Phaeton sitting there, 1931. I mean, that is a rare car. And redone, like we tried to tell the family, sure, there was a time when that car was worth 1.3 million, perfect, done. And this one needs everything, but it is complete. And it's going to cost 1.3 million to do it. So what's the car worth?
Nothing.
You know?
And you still offered the guy 80,000.
Yes. And they didn't take it. So
But I do think we're going to get, he said he's going to pull the dad's, the dove hunting Eldorado. And I said, we'll take the other 3 or 4, whatever it was. I think we're going to get those other 4. So we'll figure
it
out what
needs to
do.
be at about $3,000 a piece.
I hear you.
I mean, it really does.
I think he's needling me on what I offered. So I just said, here's what it'll do. Let me know we bought them. I'll send you POs. We'll send records over there, scoop them out, and figure out what to do from there.
Well, that was your lead. I don't know if that does anything for Gas Monkey Buys. So if you're watching, gasmonkeybuys.com or gimmethevin.com. But, you know, I'm trying to do a little bit of everything. He does what he does. And there you go. Is that a wrap? Kick ass. And look for the grand opening of Gas Monkey Ice House in about 3 weeks.